Finally, Chair, the information I have, in fact, the United States of America government is in confidence that if Adani does the takeover of JKIA, we might lose even our flights direct to New York, Chair, that is normally scheduled per week, and this will hinder our standing among the international communities. So as you go back, Bwana CS, you are not there. This is not your baby. This looks like, and it is corruption that it needs to be stopped. Allow Adani to do other airports in other parts. He's not the only one in the world that he can do that, Chair. Let us get a new investor, and we are not objecting the bill to the airport being constructed. Let it come cloud from this meeting. We want a new airport, but we want the due process of the law to be followed, Chair. It is as simple, and value for money, lawfulness and effectiveness, Bwana CS. And even as Kenyans today, I quoted Abraham Lincoln. He says the government is for the people and by the people. Give Kenyans what they want. Just use this platform, courtesy of the Chair, call off the deal. Let's go back, Chair, because if they say in conclusion, Chair, if it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck and quacks like a duck, it could be a real ugly swan of corruption. Let the Adani be called off. This deal called off today. Let's begin from a fresh slate, because Kenyans, even from Nandi County where I come from, they don't want this deal. Not because we have an airport next to us, but because it is the national strategic security infrastructure and we cannot risk. Chair, with those many remarks, I thank you, and I hope when the CS of National Treasury will appear and the DG, in fact, Chair, under Powers and Privileges Act, as you rule on the DG of PPP, he should be summoned and fined and frog-marched by Inspector General of Police to appear before this committee, because this is the contempt of your committee. This committee has quasi-judicial mechanisms of the High Court. With those, thank you, Chair, for having us who are friends of the committee and giving us. Chair, some of us, if we don't speak to some of these issues, we cannot sleep because Kenyans keep calling us throughout the night. But see, le kuzalamiwa agency, but in good faith, they really want to know. Chair Waziri, and as you go back, please in future, if you have such enormity infrastructure project, kindly give us information early enough so that we don't deal with disinformation, misinformation, and fake news in some of these issues. We wish you well, and we hope you will do better than the former incompetent colleague, because alikuwa anapenda mchezo tukapeleka yeye kwa mchezo. Asante sana. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Cherage. Bwana Waziri, you have heard from the members. Members of this committee, friends of this committee, but all members of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. Mine, as I conclude, so that I can give you a minute so that you can also give your commitment, is to tell you that we didn't have to get where we are. If probably there was no whistleblower, maybe we'll be discussing something different. So, and it has been said here in this committee, make sure the young boy is protected and make sure that no one is doing any harm to the young man who whistleblew this one. And Bwana CS, what has come out here, if there was proper communication, and I repeat that again and again, we wouldn't be here. Kenyans would be with you, because no Kenyan is against the PPP. No Kenyan is against the BOT. No Kenyan is against any investor in this country. The problem is not the deal. The problem is the wheeler dealers, as I had said earlier. So, Bwana Waziri, carry the people with you in these processes, because we are a country that is led by the rule of law. Carry the people with you. When they say stop, you stop. Because if you run, you will find them at the finishing line. So, as we retreat as the committee to write a report, there are things that we will be internalizing. We will require more documentation. We will even require more input from the people. Because as it has been said in section 40 3J, that there must be a justification why we cannot do this deal competitively. We will be looking into issues like, do we resolve as the committee or the Senate that you re-advertise and invite other proposals? That is something that we'll be pondering. Will we say no Adani in this country? Those are things as a Senate we'll be looking into. Will we even decide if the deal is there? Because you said, Bwana Waziri, in your submission on question 1, no concession agreement exists. And you also said, if we were to close this deal, not close, if we were to do away with this deal, Kenya will not lose any money. All right? At least we are happy to hear that. So probably, as we go along in retiring and rating this report, we'll be looking at that issue. Also, Bwana CS, on step 17, that is when the concession agreement is signed and a copy sent to the AG for his records. We'll also be looking into that issue in the sense that whether we get to that, because you never know, I just don't want to anticipate. We might get there, we don't know, but whether we will be requesting before the signing is done, that document is made public. So I believe that those are some of the issues that we'll be looking into. We'll also been requested to summon the CS Treasury. I would want to see him and to appear before this committee. The DG, Directorate of PPPs. So having said that, let's all remind ourselves that we are working for the people of Kenya. It is going to go down in history that I was the chairman when the Adani deal went through. Would I want that? You will be the CS, you know, will be down in history, the PS, and also the DG, KAA, the CEO KAA, and the Senate of today. So I believe we are doing this for the betterment or for the sake of our country. So, and I also ask people, we should not just rush to be the fake news peddlers, as well as the disinformation agents. Let's all of us work together to understand what is this. CS for coming. It's now, what time is it now? Because it's almost 2. It's almost 2 p.m. and you came here at 9 a.m. You were here yesterday. You committed yourself to be here. And I want to join the other senators. Nobody has lost hope with you, Bwana CS. Everybody is actually saying they see you, they think of you, they want you. So please, in your dealing with this deal, do not at any time 1 minute or 2 to also give your commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for guiding. I want to confirm, like Nairobi Senator is not in, did say we probably have a communication, maybe a credibility problem, and we do not want to get international investors digging down into the credibility of the country where we start a process and we drop it halfway. We will allow us, like you have guided, to follow the law, to be available to Parliament, to basically carry everybody along. Like I did indicate earlier, we've given these documents to the union because the way PPP has not been employed to procure the small procurement that government affords every day. It is not a very usual procurement that succeeds, and we are all frustrated with the PPP Act in that nothing almost seems to go through the PPP process, and therefore that is why we are not able to implement the big infrastructural projects which government cannot afford. So as to whether we need to relook at the PPP Act to make it work the way the PPD, the Public Procurement and Special Act works, is something that we need to look at. As regarding the concern of public participation, you do know, honorable members, that we've come to the House to seek all of us to redefine the scope of public participation, because you also don't want, when you pass a bill into law, Finance Act 2023, you are told you didn't do enough public participation. What is enough public participation? Because it's a democratic space, and whereas 40 million Kenyans could say we think we are happy, and 10 million says we didn't, it becomes a challenge to be able to move the country forward. And we'll appreciate if that public participation bill within the House, which is currently the House, could be expedited, so that even when we say, you can see one member say, when you receive a PPP, give it to us within 48 hours. We gave it out within 30 days, and it seemed like it was rushed. And therefore, it is really important to define some of these processes and see, particularly at this stage in time, how PPP can work for us as an anchor state, so that we do have an infrastructure that can support the region. I have heard the members. We will